PSR. How do we cheat it? Came in first of all, FFP, financial fair play, changed to profit and sustainability rules. Lots of teams have been hit with fines and even, heaven forbid, points deductions. Manchester City, of course, have got 115 charges against them with the case. The question for the viewers and for you and I to discuss today is, how do you cheat PSR? What you got for me?
Ask Chelsea. There you go. So basically, Chelsea, what they did, so how it works is you buy a player, their value goes down in increments depending on the contract. So, example, if I buy Michael Levy for 100 million, you are on a 5-year contract. It's cheap, well cheap. Fox in the box, like a baby Franny Jeffers. Big Franny. After the first year, your value goes down to 80. Then after the next year, it goes down to 6 there. So in essence, it goes down that way. So what Chelsea did, they cheated. Well, not cheated. They basically played by the rules because the rules now have been changed. They were giving out 7, 8, 9 years contracts, and their value then would go down in points of increments, which would mean they've got more money. Plus, they were buying young players that would just develop, stew, waste away in the reses, and then be sold for massive profits. That's how you get around it. The question is, I throw it back to you. What is the point in profit and sustainability?
Well, originally the point was to stop teams like Barrow United and stuff going out of business, like not spending beyond their means and getting to the point where they had to go to insolvency and basically bankrupt and fold. But I think we had it with Bury as well and a few other teams, sadly, that are no longer in existence. I think that was the point, but then I can't necessarily see the point of that with Premier League clubs because they've got billionaire owners. All right, you can have a look at what Peter Ridsdale did at Leeds when he spent all that money and had that run at the Champions League, and then obviously Leeds tumbled, and this is a good one maybe for Beanie, that they tumbled down the league, you know, for a decade or so before they came back. Congratulations, Leeds, by the way, shout out, back in the Premier League. But I think it was to stop that sort of thing, and the same sort of issue with Blackburn Rovers, previous Premier League champions, and then obviously gone down and not really had a chance to come back up. But what you're saying there is a good point about Chelsea. It's a loophole. But the clever bit of that is any players that you sell from your academy are pure profit. They go down as 100% profit. So if you sell someone like in the past when they got rid of Hudson-Odoi, you know, that would have been 100% profit on the books. The downside to that, doing 7 and 8 year contracts, is if your player's a flop and you're paying him 150 grand a week, you're stuck with him and no one else is going to buy him. His value depreciates. And then you're stuck with someone like Ukraine Bolt, old Muric, whatever his name is, who's just literally a sprinter.
Mudryk.
Mudryk, what is it? Mudryk?
I'm sure it's Mudryk.
I'm sure Ukraine Bolt is a better nickname for him.
I prefer Ukraine Bolt.
Yeah, that's who he is from now on. He's Ukraine Bolt. He will sprint down the wing and do nothing. Another Tony Daly. But then you're stuck with the likes of him because he ain't going to be worth anywhere near what they signed him for. They're paying him a fair wedge every week, and they're doing it for 7 years, 8 years. That's the downside to it. So is it really a cheat?
Yeah, because no matter what, if they wanted to loan Mudryk out, they'd be takers. They would be takers. So you loan Mudryk out, he only has to have a good year. Someone's willing to buy him. There's too much money available now. I think this is where I don't think the PSR works. To me, I look at it as like, so say me and you have a bank balance. We have £2,000 for our bills. One of us looks at it as, I've got £2,000 to spend. The other one says, I've earned £2,000. With the PSR, everyone's saying, yeah, but you've got this to spend. You've got this to spend. Like they look at your second team, Spurs. Everyone knows they've got a lot of money to spend, but they won't spend it. But they get absolute abuse for it because they're trying to run a business that will last when the owners are gone, when the next player is gone. The PSR to me doesn't work. Is the reason why I look at it, it's very much for the reason of the top six, say top six. And this is from a fan of a top six club. Liverpool will 99% sure earn more revenue than any of the teams in the standard bottom 10 of the Premiership. Same as Manchester United, same as Arsenal, same as Manchester City now, same as Chelsea. The revenue's already there. It's in place. All you're doing is stopping teams like when the Saudis bought Newcastle from just going, you know what? Fuck you. I want to go and buy a Robinho. I want to go and buy your best player because you won't give him a contract. I'll do that and I'll make the league exciting. Surely that's why the league is exciting. When Man City did that and they brought in players like Javinho, Adebayor, Nasri, Gael Clichy. I mean, the whole Robinho thing where he mentioned Manchester United instead.
Steve
Classic. Yeah, hell of a player. Hell of a player. That was Chelsea, wasn't it? Hell of a player.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So they bought Rodwell.
Yeah, Jack Rodwell. What happened to him? So what you're saying is it's basically in place to keep the status quo, to keep the big boys, and to stop people like Newcastle and other teams breaking into that elite top six, the Sky Sports top six.
I mean, do you hear of PSR in any other country?
No.
I mean, look at Barcelona. They are billions in debt. Still going to spend money.
Yeah, but it's also crooked because then look at their rivals, Real Madrid, who's funded by the King of Spain. You know, so they can spend what they want and get bailed out. So, you know, it's a trap. I've got a theory on it though, and it wasn't Chelsea I was going to point at. I'm interested to see what the viewers think. What's the way to cheat or get around PSR or FFP as it used to be? And let us know in the comments. I think the answer lies with Nottingham Forest. Can you tell me why? Can you tell me what happened?
Don't forget, it just changed this year. The PSR changed again this year.
Yeah. So what are the changes that are being introduced?
Well, I don't know. I've not done my research on the changes yet. Well, let's see what happens when they come in.
Well, for me, Forest worked out a loophole, and that's simply break the rules. Break the rules. Go and sign better quality players. Go and spend more than you're allowed to do. Take the fine on the chin, which means nothing to Premier League clubs. Take the points deduction on the chin. If you can back yourself to still stay up, have one season where you're languishing in the bottom, but you've now strengthened your squad. And now here we are with, at this point of recording, one game to go against Chelsea. They're still fighting it out for Champions League. So is the answer to the question, I pose, the way around FFP is to ignore it, break the rules, take the points deduction, and just strengthen your team, stay up if you can, if you're confident you can do that, and go again next year with a stronger team. No one takes the players off you. No one says you spent too much, so give us back all those players.
Well, look at Leicester. Look what Leicester did. Leicester, well, let's not say fudge their figures. The figures were not correct when they got promoted from the Championship. They basically said to the EFL, you can't judge us for the last 3 years because we're in the Premiership. And then when the Premiership tried to do them, said you can't judge us for the last 3 years because we're in the Championship. So you can't ask for where we were for the last 3 years because here we weren't in your league. So
between two different jurisdictions.
Yeah, but now what's happened? I don't know if you've seen what's happened now. The EFL have brought charges to Leicester. Now they're being relegated. They're probably going to look at a points deduction when they go down.
No way. So they're basically waiting for them to come back to their league so they're within their... It's almost like committing a crime in America and being wanted in a different state.
Yeah.
Isn't
and
it?
waiting to get back,
to return to that state to press charges or being extradited from the country.
We've headed down to Mexico and then gone Coco Bongos and then come back. Wait, come here, you.
Exactly right. So that is the question that I posed today, and I pose it for our viewers. Let us know. Make sure you like and subscribe and interact with us in the comments. PSR, FFP, whatever you call it. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it just a way of stopping anyone else breaking into those Champions League places and protecting the big boys? Is the way around it, like Kanye suggested, develop your academy and sell off those players and find a loophole, putting players on a longer contract, or does that, like I've suggested, bring its own troubles? Or is it simply ignore the rules, buy the players you want, take the hit, and then go again next season? Let us know. Like and comment, and let us know your opinion. Till next time, we'll see you soon.